Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, biddy, bam, bim, biddy, bim, biddy, bam.
Shabbat Shalom. It's wonderful to have you with us. My name is Barry Nicholsberg. I am the cantorial soloist here at Temple Beth David. And for all of us here on the Bema, thank you for joining us this evening. And yes, we are on the Bema tonight. We've been on the floor for, well, since COVID started, really. And we just decided to shake things up a little bit, not too much, but enough to get our attention. And so if the camera shots are not everything you would expect them to be kind. We'll be here again next week. Please. Now, with that out of the way, I would like to let you know that today is the 4th of February. It's 2022. It also happens to be the 3rd day of Adar 1. Yes, there is in this year, the Hebrew calendar, Adar 1 and Adar 2. Adar 1 is when we have the leap year. There are 7 of them every 19 years. Because we work on, the Hebrew calendar is a moon cycle, we have to come up with ways to figure out that leap. And instead of, as the calendar most of us use, we just make up the leap year once every 4 years. But on the Hebrew calendar, it's very different. And this happens to be a leap year. And so we are on Adar 1, and it is the 3rd day. Before I start this evening's service, I'd like to thank Bobby Horowitz, our vice president and lead guitarist. Next to him is Frank Monteleone, who's been here forever, and God knows, thank you, Frank. And Jim and Heather Murray are here doing vocals, and Jeannie Nicholsberg, my bride, is back on the board, making sure that everything gets streamed to you. Sitting next to her is Denise Whitlock, our streaming specialist, and Judy Kern, our board president, and the person who really does make the train run on time, is here with us as well. And I will be asking Judy to come down and light the Shabbat candles. As she works her way down, I would like to say that I had a really crummy day. I did. It was just a crummy day. It wasn't a bad day. It just was an off day. And I really didn't think I was in a good mental place to lead a service this evening. And then I put it all aside. It's Shabbat. I felt a blanket, a warm blanket come over me. Each week I ask you, what happened in the past 6 days? What lessons will you take? Well, the lesson I'm taking this evening is that even on a crummy day, we can embrace Shabbat, put the week behind us, and look forward. So I'm delighted, I'm thrilled that you're with us this evening. And I'm going to ask Judy now if you'll turn to page 120 or 121 and follow along with Judy, please.
Please join me on the top of page 121. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. If you'll turn to page 138, we are going to welcome the Sabbath bride. We will sing Lecha Dodi. If you're not accustomed to our custom here at Temple Beth David, just outside of Atlanta, Georgia, we sing the first, fifth, and ninth verse. On the ninth verse, we stand up and whatever door you came into, wherever you are, stand up and face that door and welcome the Sabbath bride as she arrives. With that, page 138, please join us in singing Lecha Dodi. La 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 Lecha Dodi, la 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 Lecha Dodi. La 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 la, B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat. Shamor v'zachor, to turn to page 144 in the Mishkan Tefillah. And I will ask our Vice President and lead guitarist, Bobby Horowitz, to lead us in the Reader's Kaddish.
Yikadash Shnei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ma'adi v'rachirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael Bagala Bagala u'v'zman kariv v'yimeru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Ya'alam u'al me'al maya Yitbarach, Yitbarach, B'yishtabach, V'yitbar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei d'Kudashah B'richu, Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damira be'alma, v'yimeru, Amen.
I would ask you now to rise for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamivorach. Adonai Hamivorach, Hamivorach le'olam va'ed. Hamivorach, Hamivorach le'olam va'ed. If you'll remain standing, please turn to page 148. Join me at the bottom of the page, starting with Blessed Are You. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. Thank you. Would you please turn to page 152 and join us for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Shem kavod melachutto, le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem kavod melachutto, le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. invite you to turn to page 154 as I chant the V'ahavta in the original cantation in which it was written in our Torah. So it does sound quite different from any other piece of music this evening. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol miyodecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibat arbam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'leftecha havaderech u'v'shovtecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot ben einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha L'man tizkaru v'asitem et kel mitzvotai v'yetem kadoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeichem mieretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Please join me at the bottom of page 156 in reading, starting with All This We Hold. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and miracles in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. On page 158, I hope you will join us in singing Mi Chamocha. Next, we're going to sing Hashkivenu. I will let you know that we are going to sing the tune that we normally sing on Friday evenings, but we are working on a new tune. Well, it's new to us anyway, and perhaps next week, certainly by the week after, we should have it that we can sing it for you. In the meantime, this is an oldie but a goodie. Hashkivenu, page 160.
Hashkivei Adonai Adonai Shalom V'sha'anu V'ramidenu Malkeinu L'chayim Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha
Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Amen.
I don't think I'm going to miss that tune, but I sure do like it. On page 162, we're about to sing Yismechu. This is, if you've been with us before, the song where I defy you to sing it and not smile. I don't know that that's possible. And so we once again ask you, on page 162, just enjoy the song. Sing if you can. Don't try to hide a smile, just enjoy it. Page 162, Yismechu.
Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Koreh, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Koreh, Oneg Shabbat.
Mikadeshei Shevi Shabbat Olam Yisreo V'yitanu Mituvecha Shabbat
Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Koreh, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Koreh, Oneg Shabbat.
Ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat V'echad yamin Oto karata Shabbat
Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Koreh, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Koreh, Oneg Shabbat.
Lema'ase v'reishi Shabbat Lema'ase v'reishi Shabbat
Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Koreh, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Koreh, Oneg Shabbat.
I would ask you please to turn to page 164 and rise for the tefillah. It is the standing prayer. Anananananana Adonai. Anananananana Satai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagi Tahilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Satai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagi Tahilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomeh Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zolcher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umegula libnei bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo b'Yahava, Melech Ozeru Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Yetzrat Sarah. Page 168. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Nechayeh hakal atah Rav le'oshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somef noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asorim, Kayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevorot, Umido melach, Melech memid, Umechayeh, Umasmiya Yeshua, V'ne'emanat alecha yod ha'akol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh ha'akol. Page 170. Atah kadosh b'shimcha kadosh, Ukadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha, Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh. Please be seated. Our worlds are busy and noisy. Traffic jams, horns blaring, cell phones ringing, text messages buzzing. Too often we hear without listening. Let's take a moment to embrace the gift that only the quiet in our minds or in this sanctuary can deliver. I invite you to join me in praying silently. If you turn to page 374 in the Mishkan Tefillah, you will find a song, Etz Chaim Hi, the tree of life. That is the Torah for all of us. It is the tree of life. Etz Chaim Hi.
They
would you please turn to page 374 and join me in the middle of the page, starting with May the One. May the One who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, Leah, Zilpah, Bilhah, Tamar, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and for their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. If you have names of people you would like to be added to this week's Misha Berach list, if you are online, I would ask you to type those names in the chat box. When Jeannie finishes reading that list, I will ask those in the sanctuary if they have names to remember, and then we'll come up here onto the bima. So, Jeannie, you start, please.
Sarah Gambrell, Katie Walmer, Morris and Felice Friedman, Peter Yarrow, Sandy Steinberger, Katie Fink, all those still suffering from COVID-19, Shannon Pointer, Ellie Freed, Emily and Jimmy Beaver, Emily Holler, Rebecca Hilgendorf, Oscar Hopkins, Mary Ann Harmon, Tom Harmon, Mike Shea, Irene Namer, Sam Namer, Haley Silverman, Holly Orsler, Eddie Young, Tanya Hurst, Penny Elliott, Sandy Tejan, Lisa Miller, Michelle Connors, Jackie Freeman, Robert Whitlock, Barbara Whitlock, Terry Hurst, Ron Robinson, Susan Ellers, Felice and Morris Friedman, Jerry Hunt, Barbara Yarborough, Patty Consiglo, Ann Olin, Susie Horowitz, Mike Roth, Dennis Sadler, Arlene David Conley, Patty Beeman, Leanne Dillard, Frank Gomez, Fred Singer, Linda Ehrenstaff, Marcy Schulman, Nina Schulman, Joe Wagner, Sherry Silver, Barbara Frank, Lois and Alan Sorkin.
Denise, do you have any names you'd like to add? Yeah. Judy, how about you? All right. Barbara? Thank you. Wendy? Bobby? Okay. Frank?
Nick Constanelli, Bill and Janet Milligan, Nicole Bravate, Captain Sidle, Jim Wade, and Rabbi Fred Atkin.
Bobby?
Susie Horowitz, Keith Hood, Andrew Wheeler, Edwin Speck.
Jim?
Jeff Scalar and Allie Taylor.
Heather?
And Alexis Murray and Sarah Tedesco.
Thank you. I will add Margaret Pennington, Laura Friedman, Maria Zolar, Wendy Fine, Kenny Woodruff, Shelley Perkle, Teresa Martin, Andrew St. Clair, Robin Van Loo, Joanne Stein, Kevin Middleton, Brenda Gibson, Mickey D'Amato, Peter Yarrow, Anya Polara, Ben DeSalvo, Marie Plakos, Benjamin Crone, and for the tens of millions around the world who have suffered directly from COVID, and for their families and friends who oftentimes have suffered right along with them. Please turn to page 374 as we sing Misha Berach.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Amen. This week's Parsha, that part of the Torah which we read this week, is one I've read dozens of times in my lifetime. And this week, as I was studying it, trying to see beyond what I've seen in the past, it was like a message came to me. Most of this Parsha is God telling Moses how to build the tabernacle. You're going to do this, it's going to be this high, this is going to be this wide, this long, you're going to build it out of this and this and this, you're going to decorate it in these colors, you're going to, all of that. And most of the Parsha is exactly that. And in the past, I have focused on that because, after all, it is the main theme. But there's a single line in the Torah this week. By the way, the Parsha this week is called Terumah, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But God tells Moses how the Israelites will give something. They will bring a donation to this tabernacle, to the construction of the tabernacle. God says, "Speak unto the children of Israel that they may take to me an offering of every person whose heart is willing to donate." Listen to that. Of every person whose heart is willing to donate. So, if you don't feel like donating, you don't have to. That seems like a lot of things these days as well. To build the Mishkan, the tabernacle, the materials need to be willingly donated from among the meager possessions of the Israelites who have just left Egypt. And they don't have anything. And yet, they were told, you can bring whatever you can or nothing at all. The decision is yours. The word truma means offering. Some translate that word as donation. Even though God tells Moses it will happen, it is still a voluntary action on the part of the Israelites. I don't know, some time ago, it could have been 6 months, it could have been a year, it could have been 2 years. Time sort of has stood still since COVID started. I had a member of this synagogue sitting across the table from me in my kitchen, who said rather proudly, "I don't have to give any money to Temple Beth David. I can just do what I want to do and pay nothing at all." I said, "That's true. But why would you do that?" "Because you could save money." It really? Listen to this parsha. The root of the word truma is that it's derived from resh, vav, and mem. To be exalted, to be lifted up. So when the Israelites lift their donations out of their possessions, they actually set it apart for a higher purpose. They consecrate their lives publicly and privately to the fulfillment of the Torah's law. One might ask how the way in which the giving occurs and the details of the dwelling place for God are related. The gifts show how everyone in the community participates. regardless of gender or economic status. It wasn't expected from all of the Israelites. It was put out there. You can if you want. You don't have to. There's no pressure. We're just saying this is what we can do. We hope you will participate. Doesn't that sound like every synagogue in America? Maybe around the world. You can come in, you can tune in, you can whatever, and you don't have to pay a dime. We're here, and we're going to be here. But we still count on the community. Why? Because when we support the things we like, the things we use, it actually makes us feel good. We set those monies apart for a higher purpose. They consecrate our lives. Everyone gets an opportunity to feel the dignity, I love that word, the dignity of contributing to the public cause and improving society as a whole. Again, that speaks to every synagogue in America and perhaps every synagogue around the world. We never turn anyone away. We still have to pay the bills. To give to the community is divine. What community do you belong to? If you belong to a community around Temple Beth David, thank you for your support. If you belong to a community of former graduates of a college somewhere, and it's your opportunity now to give back so tomorrow's students will have the same advantages you had when you got scholarships, good for you. Wherever you decide, I urge you, please, to take it into consideration. You are doing something divine. And what do you get in return? A sense of a worthy undertaking. Sharing with others in an important venture. Making sure that we're here for the next generation and the next and the next and the next. The sense of self-worth. What did the Israelites have to give? Very little. But they all came forward. They all said, yes, this is important. We need to do this. We can give away something of value without feeling diminished. Think about that. That's in this week's Parsha. I'll say it again. We can give away something of value without feeling diminished. Actually, it's the exact opposite. We give away something of value and we feel good. So when you sit in my kitchen and say, I don't have to give a thing, you're right, you don't. But you're missing the best part of being part of our community. We can live divine, inspired lives when we transcend our need to acquire material objects for personal gain. We all have gifts to give, whether they're physical or mental. We all share them. It's not possible for one person to stand here and play all the instruments and sing all the parts. It takes a community. And Baruch Hashem, we have that community. When we make a habit of giving communally, we often find ourselves dwelling in the highest imaginable situations. This public recitation provides us with an opportunity to assess how we are doing our part at this time to build a world worthy of the divine presence. Shabbat Shalom. If you would please rise, turn to page 586 for the Aleinu. And Jim, I will ask you if you could help me here for just a moment. Thank you. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula li'otzeh breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzon, v'lo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamomam. Anachnu chorim u'mishtachavim yodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. She'unot hashamayim v'yoseh haaretz Moshe yakarov b'shamayim ma'al u'shinatzo b'gohen Elohim hu Eloheinu emet malkeinu et tzilato v'kagatu b'torato v'yadata yom me'hashikotam evivavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim Hashamayim v'mal v'ya'aretz v'tachar eino. Page 588. For you spread out the heavens and established the earth. Your majestic abode is in the heavens above, and your mighty presence is in the loftiest heights. You are our God. There is none else. In truth, you are our sovereign without compare, as is written in your Torah. Know then this day and take it to heart that Adonai is surely God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else. Page 591. V'nehar v'haya Adonai lamelech kol haaretz bayom ha'or yeh Adonai echad o shemo Please be seated. I'm going to tell one more story, and some of you may have heard this before. It's in relation to what I just talked about in the Devar. This very old and exceedingly wealthy billionaire, a Jewish man, calls his sons to his bedside and he says, boys, I am about to die. I have 2 envelopes. I want you to open this one immediately after I die and open this one 30 days later. And shortly thereafter, he passes. And they open the first one. And it says, please make sure that when I'm buried, I'm wearing my favorite socks. So his sons go to the Chevra Kadisha committee that prepares a body for burial. And they say, look, Dad asked to wear his socks. And they said, it's impossible. Bodies have been buried the exact same way for thousands of years. We're not changing it now. It's not open to discussion. 30 days later, they opened the second envelope. It said, I was a billionaire beyond imagination, and I couldn't even take my socks with me. Just something to think about. We have started a tradition here at Temple Beth David of chanting El Malei Rachamim, a prayer that is normally only chanted at the graveside of someone or during a Yizkor service. But we've been doing it for way too long in memory of all the people around the world who have died within that past week from COVID. We're at 2,600 people a day in America alone. We are now at 900,000 people dead. We have variants upon variants. It's time we came together as a community and stopped this. We have to find a way. We have to move on with our lives. And we cannot continue to simply accept that 2,600 Americans are going to die every day. Oh, well, I guess it's not me, so it's okay. It's not okay. We, together, must do something about this. El Malei Rachamim. You can follow it on page 582. El Malei Rachamim, Shochein Baromim, Hamsei Menucha Nichona, Tacha Kanfei, Hashchina, Im Kedoshim Hatihoreim, Kezohar Harakia, Masirim, Lenishmot Yakireino, Shalom Leolamam, Bal Harachamim, Harachamim, Yasti Reim Besefter, Kinafav Leolamim, Yitzror, Yitzror HaChaim et Nishmatam, Adonai Hunachalatam, V'yanu b'shalom Hamishkavam, V'nomar Amen. Please turn to page 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. For each and every one of them, we say, Zichronam Livracha. May their memories always, always be for a blessing. If you are in a period of Shiva, the first 7 days since a loved one passed, please, we'll start with Jeannie, as she has at least one name. Put it in the chat box if you're watching online, please.
Ruth Creighton.
Thank you. Wendy? Thank you. Anyone else have a... Patrick? Okay. Okay. So the next would be Shloshim, the first 30 days since someone passed. If anyone has someone like that, please put it in the chat. No? Very good. Patrick, please.
My brother Nick Collins.
I'm very, very sorry for your loss. I'm very, very sorry. Anyone? We do honor those for a full year by remembering their name every Shabbat. These people have passed within the past 12 months. Irma Schiller, Phyllis Blooming, Daniel Joseph Middleton, Larry Kramer, David Yarborough, Sylvia Cart, Rossi Davis, Laura Rusiak Rosen, Louis Jutzi, Michael Bernard, Annette Carter, Edna Dockerman, Robert Diskin, Erwin Finkelman, Mickey Kroll, Daniel Roach, Ed Gallup, Frank Perrone. We also have some people who have passed at this very time of year in years past, and we remember them here. Alvin Morris Kaplan, William Darnow, Melissa Greenhut, Linda Norfleet, Charlotte Ferguson, Flora Hessling. Are there any other names you wish to add? I would ask you please to rise as a community of one as we support those who are in mourning, as we read the Mourner's Kaddish together. Yid Gadal v'Yid Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'Yamad Yivrach Yivutei B'Yamlich Malchutei B'Chayachon uV'Yomechon uV'Chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uV'Zman Kariv Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam U'Neimei Almaya Yitbarach v'Yishtabach v'Yitba'ar v'Yitramam v'Yitnaseh v'Yithadar v'Yithalev v'Yithalal Shemei L'Kudsha Baruch Le'ela Mimkol B'chata v'Shirata Tush B'chata v'Nechemata Da'miran B'Alma v'Imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemayim V'Chaim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shlama. I'm sorry.
Say shalom.
Uya aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Please be seated. I apologize. I got a little emotional there. We're now going to sing a piece that we've been working on now for several weeks, and we really like it. Ham Ira. You can sing the chorus with us. It's hum ha. That's it. That's the whole chorus. When you're ready, I'm ready.
That didn't sound right.
I don't know what that was. That's not true. Let's get back to the cake. Things are broken. Here you two.
Getting out of bed this morning. Thank you all. Beautiful. Are there announcements? Jeannie, do you have any announcements today? You could say no, it's all right.
No.
Or you can read them.
Okay. Please continue to read your emails for TBD announcements and event details. If you missed the training sessions that were held here in December on situational awareness and counteractive threats, our local SCN staff will be holding ongoing sessions on Zoom. Registration links will be sent out by email as they are made available. These classes are credited with saving lives at Congregation Beth Israel in Coyville, Texas. The level of COVID community transmission in Gwinnett County and surrounding areas remains high, code red levels. CDC recommends that everyone wear masks indoors regardless of vaccine status. The current mask recommendation is either a 3-ply surgical N95, KN95, or KF94 to protect against the Omicron variant. We want to thank Deputy Collins for keeping us safe tonight and every time he puts on his uniform.
And I would like to second that about Deputy Collins. When we say the Mishaberach, we remember the police officers who are with us, protecting us. And what I did not know at that time, just 20 minutes ago, was that you lost your brother. And so we make a special Misha Berach because it's not just a physical, it's a mental time that you need to get through. And I want you to know that we are here for you. And you're not Jewish, so what? We consider you family, Patrick. And I want you to know that. And we will read your brother's name every Friday night for the next year in his memory and his honor. With that, I would ask you to turn to page 603. Whoop, sorry.
Back in the back.
Oh, look at that.
Shelley just did a little, wants us to tell everyone that Saturday service is online only tomorrow.
Thank you. I thought they were doing the wave in the back. Seemed a little inappropriate, but what do I know? Page 603, Yivarechecha. We will close with the priestly blessing. I would ask you please to rise. Please. May Adonai bless you and keep you. May Adonai shed light upon you and be gracious unto you. May Adonai's face be lifted unto you and grant you peace. Thank you for being with us. Have a safe week ahead. Shabbat Shalom.